Hey everybody, it's Brandon with RPG Overviews. I am back looking at another Mutant Crawl Classics adventure. This time it's called A Fallen Star for All. It's the second one. It's a level 1 adventure by Tim Callahan, and I'll be spoiling this adventure. We've got a really cool piece of art here by Doug Kovacs. I like the pinks, I like the purples, and just his style in this cover I think is really good. So let's go ahead and look at the back here. And it says, a meteor strike in the Taboo Crater Country opens up a huge chasm in which lies a largely intact city of the Ancient Ones. The resulting mad land rush to go claim the newly available cache of ancient artifacts draws interested parties from all over Terra AD. And at the direction of your tribal elders, that includes you and your secret team. So there we go. Some of these are difficult to find. Luckily, I had this one, and I've got some people helping me find some of the other ones because they just don't reprint these all the time, and they're kind of hard to get your hands on. I wish Goodman Games would continue to print them, but I understand that they're not going to do that. They're probably going to do those hardback books. I think I talked about that in the first video. So here we go. So let's go ahead and take a look. I wish there was something here, but that's okay. It's got a really great piece of art right here. We got these Tibars here fighting with these adventurers, probably some other seeker team here, and it's neat. I like it. It's got a lot of cool action going on in it. And here we go. So it's going to start off by, of course, giving you some background. It's going to tell you about many years ago. There's this Skybreak Industries, this mining complex, and they tapped into a potent bioliquid energy source that was too unstable for bulky, clumsy equipment to properly harvest. And so there's a background story with this guy named Chief Operating Scientist Lemil Sturson. He designed a lot of ancient, like, artificial intelligence systems and advanced robots. He took control of the facility. He continued to explore the place. There was some restructuring within the company, and he was pretty much cut, in essence. So he was dedicated to his work, and he was kind of written off by the leadership. He permanently moved into the shuttered mining complex, and he brought his 2 young children with him. And then we had the Great Disaster. No one had heard from them, and so now we're going to hear back from them, of course. So a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, a blazing star streaked across the sky and crashed into the northeast horizon on the edge of the volcanic crater country. And what it did, in essence, is it exposed this Skybreak Industries mining complex. Okay, so after the fires died down, tribesmen and creatures of all types have begun to investigate the area. It's in this jungle edge, and word spread amongst the clans, and of course your clan is like, you need to go check it out too and see what you can find there, because there's bound to be a lot of cool treasure hoard down there. You're one of the many parties converging on the location, and it's been now revealed for over 1,000 years. Something stirs within. We've got our player introduction, our judges' information, and you're going to have a bit of a journey to get there. So again, we've got the map here, double page in the middle of the book. Very good. Stephen Pogue did this map. I think overall it's very good. There is some stuff I wish was a little bit different with it. But this is going to show us kind of how we're going to start. We're going to start here. We're going to traverse this area here. And of course, I'll be telling you about these different areas here until you get to the crater where the star fell. And then what you've got is you've got this D3 and D1 right here. And so you have to kind of look at this map and really kind of do a little bit of thinking on it. So D1 and D3 are going to be D1 and D3 right here. Okay, so what you've got is these hallways, and these rooms have been destroyed in the middle of them where this star fell. So D3 is going to be here, and then on the other side is D1. D2 is going to be below D1. And then you're going to have the actual mine right here. Now, the only thing I would say is about this map is I wish that there was just a little bit of art in the actual rooms just to help you kind of visualize exactly where some stuff is in it. That, like, right here we've got these generators and we've got this thing right here, but I just wish there was more in each one of the rooms if they could have done that. Maybe done the D6, the letter and the number a little bit smaller or whatever. Sometimes, like I said, they're not even there. They could have drawn a little something there. I wish he would have done something a little bit like that just to give it a little bit more flavor to it. So let's go back. And I'll be keeping my hand pretty much here. We're going to be flipping back from this because you're going to be starting out here and going through this really interesting area. And what it is, it's the charred forest. And there's this red mist that looms over the area. In essence, it's nanite swarms. And they're going to kind of mess you up. They're going to try to get into your face, your eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. And they're going to try to make you kind of go a little bit, make you not feel so good. Okay, you can take some damage from them. You can try to run through them if you wish, and they have some old, long forgotten original programming, and so they're going to kind of mess up with your eyes and stuff, making your eyes kind of red, like reddish flakes in them. You'll hear a mild hum, and it's going to irritate you in essence. It's going to get into your bloodstream. And it says that the next time the host creature attempts to glow burn within 24 hours after being affected, he or she gains an additional 1d3 bonus to the roll. So that's cool. It's going to help you with that. But overall, it's just going to be kind of a nuisance to you. It says that any creature passing through the swarming nanites must make a DC 10 fortitude save each round or take 1 damage while in contact with the swarm. So that's tough. So hopefully you'll be able to figure out some way to cover your face so it doesn't get you so badly. And then you're going to come to A2, which is going to be this Outpost Alpha. We've got Outpost Alpha and Beta, and it's going to be these buildings that you're going to see right here, okay? Now, one thing I'll say about this whole area here, this is a cool area if you want to just have encounters. If you want to pull encounters from someplace else and put them there, you could do that, but it's going to be really sucky with that red mist going on, you know, that in the charred forest there. But you can always play with that. It's not as bad in this area, and then you have an encounter, or whatever you want to do. So we've got these Outpost Alpha and Beta. There's going to be some places for you to explore. Now, one thing this adventure's got is it's got other Seeker teams in it. So you will come across, in essence, other mutants and other Seekers that may try to kill you. You may be able to try to talk to them. Moments of parley, if you wish. There is a neat... and this piece of art is just funny. I love this face of this cat. It's trying to tell you, warn you that there are some mutants that are in this outpost here. And it's just neat because you think that maybe it's trying to project that into your mind, that maybe it's trying to intimidate you, but it's really trying to tell you, hey, look, there's a freak in there that might try to kill you. There is a cool transmat tube that's in one of them. It's going to tell you about it right here. And it's also going to give you, of course, the abilities of the two mutants that are going to be in there. But this transmat tube is cool. You can pretty much teleport stuff, in essence. It's a teleportation tube. But it can't be something very big, and maybe you could use that with some other area in the game, like in your campaign or wherever, in another adventure or something like that, because it's not extremely useful in this right here, but it could lead to other stuff down the road. And then you're going to get onto the crater's edge, okay, so the western edge of the crater. That's where you're going to find a group of those Ttrpgs there that you're going to fight, much like we saw right here. So it's kind of showing you that encounter there. You'll get to the southern edge, and there's a lot of kind of mutated trees and vines and stuff like that. They'll try to grab you. There is a good bit of encounters in this, and a lot of the encounters are either going to be these beast things or some stuff you roll up on this Wandering Seekers table right here. So the Skybreak mining complex, whenever you roll up encounters, it may be one of these other groups. So that's neat because they're obviously trying to get the artifacts as well. So we've got Beast Things, the Blessed Brotherhood Clansmen, Conservators, Scions, Tibars, and the Tribe of the Golden Frog. So some neat things you can kind of roll up here, or you can just add in your own. That's one thing I really like about this and the way that it's set up and that these other Seekers are out there. So if you want your the characters to run into some other type of group, this is a good place that you could do it, and would make sense that you would find them here. Beast Things kind of play a pretty big role in this adventure, a lot of stuff that you're going to fight, so that's neat. You've got this random useful small artifact table, and this is the first time that it's, again, a little bit messed up. It says roll on table T1 or T2. Well, they're not labeled, you know, it doesn't have that labeled. So this is, I believe, table 1-2. So if you see that right there, table 1-2, a little bit of an error, but it's just some of the editing issues that unfortunately has popped up, along with a little bit of some typos here and there throughout it. Nothing terrible, but more than I would like to see. So we've got this random useful small artifact table. You'll be rolling that up a lot of times whenever you search places, and that's cool because you don't have to keep on writing it down. You can roll it up and see exactly what you want to give them. This Skybreak key cube is very important. If they roll that up, that's going to help open up doors in the complex. But there's a lot of neat stuff in here that you can get. And again, it's going to have all the stats for all those different Seeker groups. And then you're going to start traversing the actual complex with the different offices. So again, as I jump here, you can decide here on the crater if you're going to go into D3 or D1 and go down. And that's when you're going to start exploring these different rooms and offices. You're going to be like here, you've got an office storage right here. There's a couple things that you can find there. Now, I will say, this section here on the lift platform, D3, as you can see, it goes through it takes up a lot of area there, this lift shaft. It's a little complicated, and I think if you're going to run this adventure, you need to really understand D3. You need to really break down, because there's a lot of different things with this this D4. It's like a little opening there, and then there's a door to the shaft here that can lead you to D6, down here to D10, and then so on. So it's a little bit, I would say, convoluted, but it's just something you're going to need to really kind of put your head around. And it might be the only thing of the adventure where you have to kind of be like, okay, now where's this door and where does it go? And then you've got a platform that you can actually get and use in this shaft, but it can also go horizontally and go throughout the whole complex. So if you make certain artifact checks and get it to work, it could be very helpful for you to move around this facility. It's just you need to understand, once again, how it works, how this shaft works, and it may give you a little bit of hiccups mentally exactly how it works, but read this section really well. This might be a thing with the electro lift and the lift platform that you have to really work with. Okay, there is some cool uniforms and some items that you can get of armor in here. That's pretty helpful. There are some robots that you'll find throughout this complex. That's pretty cool. So then you're going to find this infirmary right here in D5. It's going to have some neat things in there with you as well. But there'll also be some stuff in there that might try to kill you. Yes, it is a Medbot arm. So they've taken the arms off a Medbot and put it into the walls. It may be a way that you could try to get them. There are some neat stuff that you can get with those Medbot arms. Some cool syringes that might do some different things. So some stuff you're going to roll up. There is some weird like electromagnetic gravitation distortion fields in this place here and there, in this room. So that's kind of interesting. They're going to have the command and information center. This is where you're going to have an AI that's in there. It's a personal assistant AI. She's in essence, her name is Matron, and she's in essence a motherly AI that's going to show herself and speak to your characters, speak to the characters in a very kind of motherly way. And you're going to find out that she was made for the children of the scientist. She can tell you some information. There's some neat stuff here where she'll respond to certain questions. Like if you ask, like, where are you? There's an explanation, a response that she's going to have for that. I wish there was a little bit more here, but you can still have fun with that, kind of get in the mood of how she's going to interact with the PCs. So that's cool. And there is some manual control interface artifact checks that you can make that can kind of control there is a lot of artifact checks, and so hopefully someone's going to be pretty good at that. You can use some manual controls that will do some stuff for this place. It can control like the electro lift. It can toggle the lights off and on. And you may break it, of course, and you may accidentally shut down the facility. You can see a series of images that show you different areas in the facility. That's going to help you get just your mindset on what's coming up in the future. Or you can direct that electro lift any number of times if you roll really high, so that's going to be cool. There is a fabrication room here where you're going to find some cool rad shot and meta shot stuff to help you. Then you're going to get into the actual scientist's room here. And this and the children's room and the recreation room are going to kind of help you tell the story about exactly what happened with him and his kids. The matron will play a part in that as well. So there's kind of your story areas there. And then you've got this old mining bot storeroom. There's some really neat deep dive armor that you're going to see right here from these skull-faced enemies right here, as you can see. This is a really cool piece of art. I like that. And it's going to help you be able to go down into lava. But it's really cool because it's really powerful, but one of these robots will try to murder you. So you're going to have to watch out for that. Then you've got this lab, and in the lab is going to have a bunch of these beast things with a champion, and they're going to be fighting this Visionaut, is what it's called, the Ooze Burst Visionaut. And it's going to be a thing where you see them fighting, and if you start fighting it with them, the beast things are going to attack you as well. It's really nasty, this Visionaut here. It's one of these things in essence. And it's really cool how you kind of come into a middle of a fight and kind of once again have to decide what side you're on. There is a memory room, and it's kind of another thing where it connects to the story of the kids and the dad. And then you have master control. And this is going to be in D14, so let's take a look at that. So let's get our bearings once again. So you're getting close to kind of the end area here. And again, there's a lot of other stuff here. I've just can't tell you all about it. And I do like, again, once how they do art and it shows the art around the map. So D14 is going to be your master control, a lot of glittering multicolored stones, and there's going to be, buttons to push for, technology and stuff like that. It says that it's a personalized mining area, and it provides control for the other areas if the PCs can figure out the interface properly. So it's, again, another thing where you're going to need to make master control interface artifact checks in order to figure it out. If you spend some time with it, it'll help you, again, kind of control this place. And then you're going to come to our lava lagoon and the cranial fluid of the world brain. It's a 3-tiered area that you can see right here, here, and here. And they do a good job of explaining. I just wish there was some art there. Well, this one's got it, but these two here, I wish there was a little bit of art. And that's where you're going to have kind of like your final encounter. And it's going to be with these two Visinauts right here. And what they're going to be is the children of Sturson, the actual scientist. His children's, like, their memories, their thoughts and who they are stuck in these Visinaut suits, and they're very nasty. They're going to try to drown you like this into the lava. This thing can take on the damaging properties of lava, and it's going to try to drag people down into it to try to kill them. So it's going to be a pretty nasty encounter, and obviously you're going to die almost pretty quickly. Once you go down in the lava, you're pretty much cooked. And so you'll hopefully defeat them, and then you're going to have a neat thing where you can actually use one of these suits. It talks to you right here where it shows this freak here putting this crystal, dripping something into its forked tongue. You're going to have where you can, like, once the encounter's over, the adventure's pretty much over. You can try to go down and go inside the lava and look for this little fluid here that has got some really cool effects that you can do to your character, like based off what type of genotype you are. If you splash it on an artifact or a power source, what it's going to do for you, and you can keep trying to go get those over time. So it could be something that your tribe use over and over again, but it's going to take you time to get those, and it's dangerous, of course, too, and the suits are not going to last forever. So we've got a couple player handouts. This is the symbol for the Skybreak mining complex, and this here is a piece of techno crud. And I don't really understand why this was here. There's nothing really to use it. It's supposed to show you the veins of maybe the cranial fluid that's in the lava, but there's no real. I don't know exactly of all the items that's in this. The handouts or items that you get. Why this one is it? It's kind of like a tablet. You can look and let you see through the different underground veins in the lava and in the rock. So I'm not really sure about that one. I was kind of scratching my head on it. I had to kind of look back again and be like, what is this? But it is a very cool adventure. I think that it's good for a level 1. I really didn't have any hiccups with it. The only thing that I had to deal with was figuring out how the lift platform worked and the electro lift and how all that stuff works. There is a lot of exploration in it. It's cool to come across other seeker groups that you can roll up and fight them. These suits are very cool. I think going down into the lava, and that's just a really neat scene. And it does have a bit of a story that's interesting, maybe even sad to some people. But once you're able to figure it out that this is actually them, I didn't see exactly 100% like a way that your players are going to know that these are the children of the scientist, but it seems like a cool encounter. I really like these suits here with the skulls, and you can see it really good right here. So just visually, just a cool thing where they're going to lift up this bathysphere and they're going to come out of it, and then once you defeat them, you can actually go in and get it yourself. I just think that's cool with some neat, strong fluid that you're going to be able to get out of the earth. I like this piece of art right here. Stefan really did a lot here, big art in it. And then some really cool abilities that you're going to be able to get are bonuses like gain plus 1d6 to strength, stamina, intelligence, or personality. That's really strong. It could be strong. Maybe it gives you a new physical or mental mutation or double in size. Very cool. That's if you're a plantant. So, there it is. A cool adventure. And I'll be going and taking a look at the third one down the road as well. But I've got some other stuff in between there that I'll be showing you. As always, thanks for watching this video and subscribe, all that stuff, all well and good. Appreciate you watching this, and check out the next video. Thanks.